Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to FSB Racing Friday night Winston Cup Series from Kansas Speedway. I'm your host, Sean Reap, with my co-host, Casey Catt, who has decided to walk across my keyboard the second I hit the Go Live button. Settle down, Casey. Come on. Pick a spot. Pick a spot, Cat. Jeez. Alright, I had to switch my foot pedal because he clearly wants my attention. Welcome to Kansas Speedway. 1.5 mile, what some might call a cookie cutter. It's a nice, fast surface. This is the 2014 repave version. These cars and the truck physics, they run really fast here. And we got Chris Beckman will be doing the double duty tonight with Milt Minter Jr. still out. Of course, keeping our thoughts with Milty there. Chris will be doing double duty starting from the pole and in race reporting.
Should be exciting.
Yeah, you made it exciting last week too. Good to have you back, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Obviously, our thoughts are with Milt again this week.
Yeah, whenever he's ready, and not a minute before, we'll have our buddy Milty back. But he's obviously got bigger things to deal with right now. And there he is in the chat. Hey, Milty. Hey, let me say hi to Milt, Casey. There you go. He's not cooperating.
Like you said, Sean, this is the repave version of Kansas. People said when the track was first made, when it was a little bit flatter, the racing was a little bit boring, maybe groove and a half only. And this repave with the extra banking is really racy.
Yeah, this track in Las Vegas got the retreatment like that because they were both, like I said, they were kind of flat. A lot of time off throttle. A lot of tire management, and it just, led to long parades, kind of like New Hampshire. But yeah, this one's racy, it's fast. We've had some good runs here. Got you on the pole with Mr. Rick Castle on the outside. That was your P2 finisher on Tuesday. Ken Shea, Ryan Johnson, Jeff Hale, 5 cars to turn qualifying times. The rest of the field starting chose to take provisionals, all vying for that last pit stall to get behind me and my 2 computers. I don't know what you're doing. I know that strategy because I've used it myself when I ran this series. And it looks like James Hatch is the lottery winner there. He gets 2 empty stalls in front of him, starts shotgun on the field. He starting shotgun on the field? Wait, where is he?
He had some connection issues. I think he may not have gotten back in. I'm not sure.
So scratch that. Nobody gets the super spot. Pops Marguson in the 99 is your 10th place and final car to make the grid.
Yeah, 124, Rick Castle was really racy in practice. I'm not going to fight him real hard if he decides he wants to get out here and push it.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. Milty says dog called today. He said he's picking Ryan, which means he's going to win. I mean, he's got a good track record. I think I think Castle's due. I think Rick Castle's due in that 124 as the pace car ducks off. Our race reporter Chris Beckman in the 41 Lando Lakes Buttermobile leads us to green here at Kansas. Chris, tons of Wizard of Oz jokes could be made, but I will refrain as they are a bit tired. Clean start as everybody jockeys for a lane on the track. Ryan Johnson still high to the outside of Rick Castle. Seeing if we can get a little help from the 91 of Ken Shea, but no, they sorted out. Good to see. Oh, did Ryan just smack the wall on the front stretch? That's something you got to watch for with these dogleg tracks. I'll have to look at it on the other camera here, see if Ryan took some damage there.
And turn one here is a little bit deceptive. It comes up on you quick, that wall.
Yeah, and if you're trying to swing out, especially if you're not taking the preferred line, you're stuck on the top or the bottom. It can jump out and bite you there. Oh, he most definitely got it, and he got it hard. I'll watch the replay here. This was coming to turn one after completing the first lap. Ryan Johnson up high, trying to settle in for the corner, and a hard shot there. You see the car ricochet off the wall. I almost guarantee he's got some damage from that. And aero damage at a track like this early in the night, that's going to make for a long night. Fortunately, Ryan's got a pretty good handle on the points lead here. If he can just salvage top 5 out of this, maybe get some laps led under caution, he can still get a good point snap. You can see he's already surrendering the spot there to Ken Shea, and looks like Jeff Hale will follow him through. So very early on, a tough break for the points leader. He didn't get pushed up there, didn't get bumped. It's just one of those things, like Chris was saying, it can happen as quick and violently as that wall comes up on you. Trivia about this track, as you see, Rick Castle takes the lead. This was built in a bowl. They dug into the surrounding area to make sure that the track surface was below all of the support structures level, all the grandstands and towers to the outside. Their foundation is basically at the top of the wall, and that provided better sight lines, which also got the infield lower to stop it from obstructing views from the grandstands. Part of that expansion era of the 2000s in NASCAR. People talk about the peak as if it was sometime in the 80s or the 90s, when Earnhardt was still around, but that wasn't even 2001. Peak was about 2005 and 6. All these tracks were opening up. Schedule expanded to 36 races. Places like this, Kansas, Las Vegas, Chicago, the so-called cookie cutters, they were all added in a big lump. But meanwhile, we've sorted out the single file here, draft dependent. Not entirely draft dependent, I should say, but definitely a draft affected track. Before these tires really get to wearing in, the draft will have a larger effect. But man, I thought that Ryan Johnson was going to fade, but he is hanging tough. Up to second place. That's impressive, considering I was sure he had hit that wall hard. Maybe it only appeared that hard on our end and was just a scuff on his. That can happen sometimes. I'm trying to see if I see damage, and I don't. Doesn't always mean anything, but from my end, where we sit now, I guess the 59 is clean.
Yeah, those guys are pushing it pretty hard. I figure I'll drop back a little bit here.
Yeah, it's always a sound strategy. This being a cookie cutter 1.5 miles, as Ryan Johnson looks low, using up that apron, that's not out of bounds here. It's not a super speedway, not super speedway rules. But one of the things you do have to be careful going down there is your spotter will clear you, even if there is a car to your outside, and vice versa. Their spotter will clear them. So that is one of those things in the driver's meeting. I know I say it, and I know Ryan says it. That's an at-your-own-risk maneuver. But Ryan's feeling pretty racy, so that car is obviously feeling no ill effects here 12 laps after we thought he damaged it. Where is it going? Oh, yes, the fuel range here tonight. This being a cookie cutter, 1.5-mile track, you get about 32 on 30 to 34, I'd say. 32 average on a run here.
Yeah, 30, that's pretty accurate.
30 if you're burning it up, 34 if you're working hard to save, maybe 35 if you're clutching from the drop. So with 107 laps, let's see, 33 would take you to 99. There's not a lot of ways you can cut this to cut out a stop entirely.
I think you're still looking at a 3-stop race, even if we go green.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. You couldn't possibly get it down to 2. So then it comes down to some people, they might want to short pit it. Yeah, break it up into 4 even segments rather than making a one-can stop there at the end. Well, Ryan's early charge was thwarted there by Rick Castle, and here comes his teammate, Jeff Hale, with Ken Shea working on the high side.
Yeah, Ryan normally runs pretty hard early to begin with, and I think he wanted to get up there and try and lead a lap, knowing that he scraped the wall, but not sure he's going to get there.
Yeah, if he does have just an ever so slight bit of damage, it might just be catching up with him now or at the midpoint of the run. I've had cars like that where I just scraped it, and on fresh tires, you'd never know the difference, but once it really starts to wear in. Nick Walters now looking to work on our intrepid reporter here for 5th. Jeff Hale and Ken Shea trying to inch forward on Rick Castle, who's been in control here pretty much last 10 laps or so.
Yeah, Rick's car looked really good in practice.
Yeah, Rick taking full advantage of the Tuesday night practice in the chicken run. So he knows what this car is capable of. He knows how far he can go with it. On board Nick Walters here on the right side of your screen. Yeah, Milty talking about clutching. Clutching here, that's how you'd have to do it to get into the 35 lap range. And man, even if you clutched to 35 laps, you still couldn't cut a stop out with 107 laps in the race. So I think I'd lean towards the short pitting versus trying to actually extend anything here.
Yeah, like you said, short pitting could be an option. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan maybe try that, come in on lap 27 and get down pit road early.
Yep, 27, 4 times 20 is 80, 7 times 4, 28. Boom, 108 laps right there. Yeah, Milty's saying the pace is too fast. Nobody's going for that strategy. I have to agree. Even Pops Marguson and TG Reese, who have fallen off the pace I don't think they would have fallen off enough to even pull that up. Yeah, pull that off. You see them there at the back, the 99 and the 53 car. Ken Shea slides high on the front stretch, or back stretch rather. And Ryan continues to fall backwards, so either he burned his stuff up or that tiny bit of damage is catching up. Haven't talked about Jason Dulfer, Jammin' Jay. Hopefully his fan club's out here tonight. I haven't seen anybody checking in. There is Jammin' Jay right on the tail of this lead draft. Sam Young has lost the draft. He's back there in the 98. We have a call to our owner-promoter, the Grand Poobah, Sam Young in the 98. He needs to catch a caution and get back in this draft if he wants to get a good finish here tonight. But that camera angle on the left side really gives you a sense of how fast this place is. These cars come screaming at the camera.
'91 to Ken Shea may have scraped a little bit of wall there and won as well.
I didn't see if he bounced from it. Let me take a look on the YouTube delay here. Yeah, that was an even lighter tap than we saw from Ryan, so he might be okay. He might not have even heard anything. That could have just been our ends guessing where he was. Getting racy mid-pack here is Jeff Hale. Looks under Chris. I'd say in the next couple laps here, we're going to find out who's playing what strategies. So far, no takers on that pit road.
This would be about the early part of that window.
And this being a 1.5 mile track, 45 mile per hour speed limit, you enter off at turn 4. Ken Shea up to second place. Now knocking on the door of Rick Castle here at the end of this run.
Yeah, good to see the 91 back out. I'll be driving past his hometown of Farmington here in a couple weeks.
Road trip.
Looks like we got some cars posting that they're going to pit this time by.
And 4, we got the camera on pit road right now. Rick Castle to the bottom and slowing. 124 to pit road. .124, 29, 59. So Rick Castle and the checkered flag guys coming here in on lap 30. 29 really for their end. Sam Young joining them. That's actually a smart move. When you're disconnected from the lead draft like that, you pit with the first group that comes in. And hope that as things cycle, you get in the middle of it. See the rest of our leaders coming down pit road now. Nice tight grouping there. Ken Shea, Chris Beckman, Nick Walters, and Jammin' J. Dolfer. Perfectly synchronized. Coming to the attention of their ready and able crews. That first group rolls off pit road now. Sam Young didn't quite close the gap, but as this second group rolls out, that might be to his benefit. It takes a couple laps to get this, wound up and compressed again. That is everybody. Everybody has hit pit road here by this lap 32. Ken Shea swings wide and lets it go. I'm not sure what he was doing there. I don't know if he had a problem or if he just didn't want to lead.
Yeah, not sure. He definitely lifted, though.
Possibly lost a gear coming out. Although he is right up there on you. Meanwhile, Jeff Hale from that first group slips into third place. It's Jammin' J. And Ryan Johnson. Rick Castle ends up on the tail end of this pack. And Sam Young scored a lap down. I think he has retired it. Oh, Sam Young got dropped. I just looked at TeamSpeak. Sammy got dropped. Tough break there for Sam. And meanwhile, Jeff Hale, he wants P2. Great pit sequence for Jeff Hale.
I think he's got a little more heat in his tires than we do pitting earlier.
He pitted a little earlier. He had a gap to Rick Castle as he came in, so he was able to come in a little hotter. One stop down, and we've got ourselves lead six broken away here. Rick Castle looking underneath Ryan Johnson. Almost took it 3 wide there. Jeff Hale to the high side picks up his teammate.
These guys are a little too racy for my liking.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was like, either you backed out of it or you got bogged up down there on the bottom. Either way, here comes the freight train. Around the outside. And Jeff Hale takes the lead and then immediately swings high. Getting Ryan to lead here and get him that all-important bonus point. Oh, I think I do see some damage on the right side of Ryan's car. From that angle.
With 2X tire wear, I like to be a little careful with the tires early on.
Yeah, just screech them just once. Yeah, that's it. That's a couple laps worth of wear.
Yeah, like you said, I think Ryan was on a mission to make sure he got his lap tonight.
I'll see if we can get a car to his right side again. Then we'll go on board that car and look out their left door. There we are on board Jeff Hale. You almost got there. Here we go. Looking out the right side of Jeff Hale's car, yeah. There's a waviness to the door number on Ryan's car. So I think that lap 1 incident did actually knock the door in a little bit.
And like you said, not a lot of damage, but that's something that could affect him until he gets a chance to fix it under caution.
Yep, and it makes the car a little tighter, makes the tires wear a little faster, hurts the straightaway speed. Of course, looking back from behind Jeff Hale's car, it's 2x2 behind him. As that has not sorted itself out there, Rick Castle wants second, Ryan Johnson trying to hold on. Wow! That looked pretty close from this angle.
I saw him coming.
We're doing the expendable cam on Jeff Hale's car, the rear bumper. Watching back as the field fights it out. "44 laps in the books, 45 now. Last set of stops happen around lap 30. Expect the next one about lap 60. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Milty. Could be some undercuts as Rick Castle looks to undercut Jeff Hale and reassume the lead, but Ryan Johnson's got something to say too. 3 wide down there on the apron, puts Rick in the middle. Not the best place to be. I think Ryan thinks better of it and backs up, but Rick's sliding up the hill because he was ready to give him that room. Everybody sorts it out, and Rick Castle back to the lead. You know, they're catching the 53 and the 14, potentially put them a lap down. Ryan Johnson falling back. Now into the clutches of Chris Beckman here, falling to third. Falling to fourth, actually.
Yeah, those guys ran pretty hard on those tires early in that run.
And when you knock the shiny off at the start, you do not get it back. Oh, TG Reese hardened the wall in the backstretch. That should bring out the first caution of the night here on lap 51.
Yeah, I think TG got loose and got into the side of me a little bit there.
I was checking some other stuff, and I look up at my right monitor, and I see him going around. That's certainly not what anyone wanted to see, but it looks like the 14 of Nick Walters should be your free pass lucky dog recipient.
Yep, 10-4.
Like TG Reese, whatever happened, he has retired that car from the race. So he was on the high side letting the traffic go by. Oh, he was pretty far off the wall, like you're saying. I don't know if he got loose there. Let's find out.
I hope that wasn't my fault.
Let's go to the helicopter. Well, don't think he was loose, but he was also pretty low in the groove.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to stay as low as I could to get by him and give him space, but tires are starting to get pretty worn as well. I think I may go ahead and, just to be safe, count that as one of mine.
I think you might want to do that, just to be safe, like you said. Yeah, with the tires wearing, like you were talking about there, it's tough to maneuver around, and I think he was being cautious not to push up to the wall, but maybe just left a little too much room there without enough room for you to come up.
Yeah, 10-4. Oh, no problem. I hate that we had to make contact. That's definitely not what either one of us wanted.
No, of course. But that gives us a reset here, everybody. Yeah, pretty much everybody left running. We'll be back on the lead lap once Nick takes his free pass. Jason Dulfer stays out to take a lap lead. And he'll head down pit road to the attention of his crew now. So 53 laps in, not quite halfway. That's coming up right now. And now it's a one-stop race from here.
And this is where it could get interesting. You know, we would not anticipate any more cautions depending on how hard we get to be racing here, but definitely brings a lot of strategy into it for that one pit stop we should have to make the rest of the way.
That's right. No more trying to save to make long runs. It's either it's pretty much how short you want to pit it, or do you want to run it out and count on a caution.
Yeah, I feel bad about the contact with the 53 there. I was trying to hold it down, but my tires are pretty greasy. I think both of us were being cautious and unfortunately just got into each other there.
Yep, 10-4. Milty said in the chat, racing deal. And sometimes two cars go for the same piece of real estate. Doesn't always work out, but now everybody, like I said, everybody's got themselves reset, recharged, refreshed on those tires. Ryan maybe got a chance to beat that damage out. In fact, I'd say he definitely did, because he's now listed 7th. So he's fallen back in the running order. Probably came in and let his crew bang on that car. He was already fast, even with that door knocked in, so if they did some repair work, he should be right back in this fight. Lights are off on the FSB pace car. And we're going to take this thing back to green on lap 56 of 107.
Yeah, Ryan's been really focused this year. You can tell he's definitely motivated to try and get this points championship, and it's been running really good every week.
Yeah, we're both chasing our white whale, although I think he's going to catch his finally with the Winston Cup Series. Pro Cup, I mean, I keep having fantastic top 3 runs every week, but Hatch keeps winning, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's my last one, last crown jewel I've been seeking.
Yeah, James is really good in that cup mod. He's very fast.
He was incomprehensibly fast in that Monday night race this week at Nashville. Like, that car was evil. I was thrilled to bring it home 3rd. I was thrilled to bring it home, and he just cruised away with it. Anyway, pace car's off. Rick Castle, Chris Beckman, Ken Shea, Jeff Hale, and Pops Margison, your top 5, leading us back to green on 56 of 107. Milty says this race is making him want some Crown Royal. And don't tell Budweiser. Oh, Chris Beckman around off turn 4. And saves it. And gets rolling again.
Well, that was exciting.
Wow. Just took off on you, huh?
Yeah,
That'll happen on these cookie cutters sometimes on cold tires.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. The car just didn't stick like it has been.
Oh, well, that's a quickie caution. Everybody will get it. Load up, re-racked behind the pace car. We'll probably see some people making different choices, track position versus topping off. Whoa, getting some weird shadow behavior out of the cars, I just noticed. That's freaky. It's making the cars look like they're floating on my main screen here.
I didn't feel like I was pushing it very hard, but the back end just stepped out there pretty fast.
Yeah, if you're putting any wheel into it, into turn 4 there, it can snap on you. And, well, now you have to, I guess you probably want to look at the TG one to decide how you feel about that, because that would unfortunately be 2.
Yeah, with the yellow flag coming out, I think I'm probably just going to retire.
And 4.
41 teams not running for points this year, and don't want to put any of the points contenders at risk either.
That makes sense. But you gave it a good run. They definitely knew you were there. A great pole run there, and now it leaves it to the rest of these guys to duke it out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Ryan made his way all the way up to 3rd there.
Yeah, he got some track position back after getting the damage fixed.
I think it's going to be a heck of a battle between him and Rick Castle for this win. We'll see. You know, Jeff Hale, you can never count him out, but I think the 59 and the 124 look really, really strong.
Yeah, never count Hale out at a fast track like this. Yeah, he had the strategy working last night to take advantage of my my game dropping the desktop in the Truck Series. Not that I'm bitter about it or anything.
Yeah, it's one of those things with internet racing. You know, the internet connection problems and computer issues can definitely bite you from time to time. We've all been through that before.
Yep, I hit pit road exactly in the strategy that I wanted to do. I was leading the whole race to that point, and then poof, desktop. I sigh. So no cars left on, that are laps down. TG Reese, Sam Young, those cars have both retired from the event. This brings us to the point where if cautions hadn't come out, we would be pitting this lap anyway. So strategies, again, remain pretty much unchanged. And there you have it, the checkered flag guys, along with Ken Shea and Jason Dulfer, hitting pit road for a top-off. Rick Castle's out there all by his lonesome. He's got Nick Walters right back in the fight. Remember, Nick was the recipient of the lucky dog on the caution that resulted from the 53 and 41 contact.
I was a little surprised to see Nick lose the draft on that first run of the race. He was definitely up to speed with everybody else during practice, so I'm not sure if he maybe got behind a slower car and just lost the draft or what happened. But I think he should be able to hang with everybody from here on out.
Yeah, I think he lost the draft because on the pit sequence, I think he just had a bad cycle there. I don't know if he had a bad entrance or got sideways, or overshot a pit or something, but it was after the pit cycle sequence that he lost that draft.
I see what happened. He actually looks like he got spun around a little bit on pit road.
Well, that will do it.
Yeah, he definitely had some issue there on his pit stop. Yeah, good call, Sean. I just went back to revisit that, and I see him sideways on pit road there. Yeah, that's definitely what slowed him down.
Let's see if we can find that while we wait for the pace car to... Oh, it's about to duck off, but still. We're going to go back green here on 61 of 107. Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, going back to that first...
Oh, 59's around in turn 4.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not sure what happened. I'm going to go back and look here, but definitely sideways, definitely some heavy contact with the wall, too.
And caution's out. Let's take a look. Going way back to lap 32 on that pit sequence, and you see what happened with Nick Walters. He was pulling into his stop. He has that gap in the wall there, and he just didn't see TG Reese coming. And so that's what cost him. Okay.
And it looks like on our latest incident here, same thing that happened to me in turn 4. Ryan started to get a little bit loose. Tried to get checked up, but the 91 was just too close behind him and couldn't slow down in time.
Yeah, that's heavy contact for the 91 and the 63 as well.
It's a great setup that I'm assuming Slim made for us, but I think definitely turns coming out of turn 4 on those cold tires. You got to be really careful. Definitely know how Ryan feels on that one.
See, there it was. It got loose in the middle. He brake stomped it, but Ken Shea was too close. Nothing Ken could have done there, really. And when Ken's back in the throttle, he's trying to just roll it off. And, yeah, Ryan getting loose there. Not a lot the 91 can do.
Yeah, and that's why when I had my spin, I chose to just go ahead and punch the throttle and spin it out and get it down to the bottom. That's really tough. You know, you got to make a split-second decision when your car's getting out of control like that. And like you said, nothing the 91 can do. Ryan was doing the best he could to get his car back under control. Just one of them racing deals there.
Yeah, so that's going to be heavy nose damage to the 91 car. It definitely impact his ability to compete. You see the back end all busted up on the 59. And that could actually make the problem worse. That can make it a lot looser. Ken Shea's car is going to be tight with the front end knocked in like that. On the 59, at this point, if I'm in the 59 spot, I'm coming in pit road and I'm putting traction or stability control on, try and keep that thing under me for the rest of the night. Because you said you think this is a Slim setup. I think it might actually go back to before Slim was making the Winston Cup sets. Because I seem to remember this setup behaving this way when I first joined the league in 2015. It had, some of these really fast 1.5 milers that we ran. At that point, the Winston Cup Series was all speedways. You wouldn't get a Martinsville, you wouldn't get a North Wilkesboro in that. You'd get the cookie cutters, you get the big tracks, you get the plate tracks. And the Chicago, Kansas, Las Vegas type sets we ran, they were really loose, and this was one of the more stable ones, but it still had that ability to jump out and bite you like you two have seen tonight.
And that wouldn't surprise me, like you said, being a 2014 version of the track, could definitely be a leftover from that era. Good stable setup once you get some heat in the tires, but it definitely not tight on those first couple laps.
No, and if you get into a different aero position than you're used to, than where you were in the previous run, then it can feel totally different. Can catch people by surprise.
Like you mentioned earlier, Ryan's got a good position in the points. I would not be surprised to see him just kind of, ride this race out, make sure he gets a finish, and maximizes however many points he can get tonight.
Yeah, and when you're out spot and you've got an NC and a damaged car on your hands, you go into pure survival mode. So that leaves us here to duke it out with Nick Walters inheriting the lead, and Jeff Hale has got himself up into second. And you got to deal with Hale again at a track like this. It's this fast. Rick Castle staying out there. Nick Walters coming in to top off. Rick Castle P2. Pops Margison quietly having himself a great run here. Sitting there in third. At the beginning of the race, he lost the draft somehow, but now he's right back in the hunt. Jam and Jay, unfortunately, probably has some damage from that incident, as well as the 91 and, of course, the 59 at this point.
Yeah, like you say, those three cars at the back of the pack right there, 63, 91, 59, probably a little bit of damage for each of them. I think it's got to give Rick Castle in the 124 a lot of confidence that he can get up there and challenge Jeff Hale and maybe take this victory tonight.
He has been the strongest car all night so far. And you see the back end of Ryan Johnson's car. He is definitely done in terms of competing for the win tonight.
We're going to have about 40 laps to go here when we get the green flag. Not quite short enough for these guys to make it, but it definitely brings in a little bit of strategy. You could just come in and get a little bit of gas, maybe take some right sides and make it to the finish.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this is a 2-tire in a can finish here. But man, 2 tires brings another variable into it. You talk about how loose the car is on the fresh tires. Has anybody practiced 2 tires tonight? Do they know what that's going to do? You can be surprised at how loose that can make a car.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you first come back out of the pits with those worn left sides, you're going to have to be cautious if you decide to do that. Typically 2 tires will make the car tighter in the long run, but on those first couple laps, you got to be really careful.
Exactly. The tire pressures are not up on the right side immediately, and Jeff Hale slides up the track off 2. Rick Castle's taking a look, but he has no help. Jason Dulfer is his teammate, though. Ryan Johnson's car surprisingly Pops and Nick Walters get together in the front stretch here. That's going to bring yet another caution flag out. So we talked about our hope for this to go caution-free to the end, but at this point, cautions begat cautions begat cautions.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. I'm going to pop back and look to see what happened between the 14 and the 99.
Yeah, I'm rewinding it right now. Ooh.
Okay. Looked like they were both trying to make a move to the outside of the 63, and just not sure that Pops knew Nick was all the way out there.
I think it might go a little deeper than that, too. Yeah. Here, I'll back it up a little further here and get the replay up on the screen. So my Alt-6, which finds incidents for me, and the replay, if it can find them, actually jumps to the 91 car, even though he was not apparently involved in that. And we'll see why. He pops the wall off of turn 4. Right here. So he pushes up around the outside of 6-3, pops the wall, which causes some chain reaction.
Man checked up a little bit, yeah.
63 is checking up to stay out of him, so he didn't push up into him. And there you go.
Yeah, these high-speed tracks, that type of stuff happens so quickly. Like you say, one driver makes a little adjustment to try and stay out of the trouble, and it gets everybody else a little bit more in trouble.
In fact, I think... Oh, yeah, Jay got loose, too. See, he got loose and saved it without brake stomping. He's getting out of the way, and up the hill goes Pops, not realizing that Nick is coming. Well, that's a shame for Nick. He had a clean car up to that point. He's having a good run.
Yeah. And like we'd mentioned, those are 2 of our drivers who had a little bit of damage, the 91 and the 63, and you could see those cars are just not responding how they were expecting them to.
Yeah, that front end damage definitely making Ken Shea's car a little tighter. Well, everybody in the top off, and yeah, Milty's saying Mike could make it from here with the caution laps. Ooh, let's see if they top off. There's no lap cars, so if they top off again this time by, they're gonna get the green. That's 71.
Boy, that's gonna be, it's gonna be asking a lot. But then, if you start doing some clutching, I don't know that I'd want to try and go more than about 35 laps, though, with this particular setup.
Yeah, maybe one of the cars that's damaged could try it, but the thing is they're going to be giving up so much more time than they already are from the damage that it may not even work out. But you know what? If anyone can pull it off, it's that guy in the 59.
I'd be interested to see if, 59, maybe 91, maybe 63, a few of those cars that have a little bit of damage, if they can all stay together and maybe all try and save together, that could be something.
This just in, lights are still on the pace car. That gives them another shot at this top off.
And like I said, if you're looking at 35 to go, then suddenly that, then you've really got a valid opportunity to try and make that work.
I think they might try to do it. At this point, they got nothing else to lose, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Hale, Rick Castle, those guys are definitely going to run as hard as they can to try and win this thing. Like you said, those guys who've got a little bit of damage, they've really got nothing to lose. Why not go for it?
Yeah, Tuesday night we went green all the way. I made it on one stop, a 67 lap race. I went 34 and 33. But on that 34, man, I don't know what was left in the tank, but for $5, I'll drink it.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was watching the fuel mileage there when I was still in the race, like I said, I would not want to try anything more than 35, and that would be quite a feat to make that work, I think.
Everybody but Castle looks like it's going to come in and top off this time. So I think Rick knows that probably too tall of an order to go that far. He's probably also counting on it not being the caution. And not being the last caution, rather.
Yeah, not being the last caution, and I would guess that he's committing himself to trying to hold that lead the rest of the race. When you're out front, you're not going to be able to save anyway, so... And we saw earlier in the race that 124 definitely has a strong enough car to hold that lead, so... I would guess that that's his strategy. He wants to remain out front, and like you said, maybe he's expecting one more caution before we're done here.
Yeah, as far as I know, the only two clean cars left on the track, as far as damage, is 29 and the 124.
Yep, 10-4.
Now, lights are off on the FSB Pontiac Firebird pace car. We're going to take this green flag here on lap 72 of 107. See that beautiful sunset through turns 3 and 4 over the plains of Kansas. Clint Boyer's home state, my mom's home state. And we're back to green. Holy heck, Sean Sheaves checking in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Also, always good to see another Sean that spells their name right. Hey, Rick Castle was shot out of a cannon there. Let's see if Jeff Hale is saving or if Jeff Hale... I've never known him to save. Who am I kidding? He's going to go after it.
That'd be interesting to see if Jeff pushes Rick here or if he just kind of tries to push him enough to make him run hard and tries to save just a little bit himself.
That's also a strategy when saving. Ryan Johnson brake stabs and saves it in 3 and 4. No caution, but cars had to scatter to miss him. Like I said, that 59 machine, she is definitely loose now after that rear end damage. Right side of the screen will be the replay there.
99 of Pops Marguson using all of his years of experience to save that car. That was a great job.
My replay and live labels don't quite work for this one here. I'll do it this way. You see the brake stomp save. And man, yeah, Tokyo Drift there from Pops. He held on to it.
Pops has been doing this a long time. He's definitely got some talent.
That's what you call experience, as DW would say. And Ryan Johnson's coming to pit road, I think. I think he's deciding to either retire this or come in and put a driving aid on. He might be considering that an INSEE on his head because it costs Pops positions. I don't know, but... as we're saying, with this point lead he has, it's not worth the risk. He's guaranteed at least a 7th place tonight. And if he doesn't feel like the car can get him any more, he might as well park it rather than risk having to bust himself.
Yeah, and I mean, Ryan's a really hard racing competitor, but he also has very good sportsmanship. So
he's getting 4 tires right now. And retired.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me.
Yep, so that's 59 calling it a night there. Probably the right call. Tough break. He was competitive all night, even starting behind the 8 ball like that. Starting off with right side damage and being as competitive as he was, that was I can't overemphasize how impressive that run was after that kind of damage on an aero-dependent track. Meanwhile, we got this 2-car breakaway here. Jeff Hale ain't lying about. He is going for it. Fastest laps of the night. Not surprisingly, turned by Rick Castle at some point at 30.5, 176.7 miles per hour. These guys are running 30.9s and 8s, but again, it's only the 2 cars able to draft each other right now. So they're probably running as fast as they can as a 2-car draft.
Yeah, and I was just dropping back through our competitors on the track. I don't see anybody clutching or anybody really making a hard effort at saving fuel. So we'll see. We'll see if anybody's going to be able to make this work. I was wondering if the 91 of Ken Shea was going to kind of ride behind the 63, but he's gone ahead and made the move to go around Jason Dolfer, so I don't think he's going to try that saving maneuver.
There is Ken Shea. As you see the scoring update to put him into 3rd. We don't know what he's got left in that car. Both those guys having had contact.
This could be really interesting, Sean. We're going to have a heck of a battle between these top 2, but I'm not sure either one of those drivers is going to make it to the finish running that hard.
I'd have to agree there. I think they're almost guaranteed that they're going to have to come in for at least a splash. I almost wonder if they didn't just from the drop decide that they were going to split it. Come in, grab 2 tires and fuel. Try and run it faster on that second half.
I have to think that would probably be the ideal strategy for those 2 at this point. Probably in about 6 laps or so, we're going to get an idea of what these guys are going to do, I would think.
Yeah, because if they're running this hard, they're not going to need a splash. They're going to need a half can, at which point it's only a couple seconds longer to put 2 tires on.
Yeah, and I think the tires are wearing just enough that you're going to want those right sides, like you said, if you're running that hard. So we'll see. Maybe around lap 90 to 93, 94, I would think those guys would come in and make that final pit stop if they're going to do it that way.
Yeah, it's about the window I'd be looking for, too. Meanwhile, Ken Shea has pulled away from Jason Dolfer a little bit. Let's go on board Nick Walters and listen for any clutching. No. He's giving it all she's got. Well, good to see Sean Sheaves looking to get back on the track. In NR 2003 or iRacing or both, I don't know. Either way, it'd be good to have you. Always good to have an OG. Yeah, as Milty said, one of the original founding members of the league.
Yeah, it's hard to believe we've been doing this for a couple of decades now.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are the same age, as I recall, and I started this with NASCAR 4, taking it seriously. I played NASCAR 1 and 2, but let's face it, we were teenagers at that time. We probably didn't have computers that could really run that game. Yeah, that was before graphics cards. Yeah, I always had like 486s or 386s that could barely run it when it required Pentiums, you know. So I just crashed cars in 1 and 2. Didn't have a wheel. Maybe had a cheap joystick. It wasn't until I got NASCAR 4 as we got some pit road activity. So there's your split. There's your first ones taking the split is 14 of Nick Walters and the 91 of Ken Shea.
Yeah, and it looked like 63 of Jason Dolfer slipped in there too before we noticed.
That's probably smart. We'll see if that's 2 tires. And okay, here comes your leaders. We're watching the right side of these cars as they pit. Right side up on the 91.
Yeah, right on lap 90, 91 like expected.
All right, Nick Walters down and away as Ken Shea has taken 4 tires. Now here comes Rick Castle and Jeff Hale. Right side's up. And watching for the left side to go up. Left side goes up on the 29, left side on the 124. And the caution. Caution on the speedway. Look at the pace car lights turned on.
Yeah, 99 of Pop Spargerson is in the wall in turn 2, it looks like.
Yeah, he's up there. It's stopped. I wonder if some kind of computer issue has happened. Because he is, that video is not paused. He is just stopped.
Yeah, and it sounds like his motor is still revving. I believe he had some sort of computer issue or maybe a connect.
He's manually disconnected from TeamSpeak. What on earth?
I have to imagine that's some sort of computer crash or something.
That's what it smells like, but let's go on board, see what happened.
Well, that, as they say, is going to change everything.
Most certainly is. So here we are on board. Oh, wow, Pop's blinked out. Okay. And then he's back. Oh, you know what that strikes me as? Yep. I bet that's a black screen. So his game is still running, but he probably stopped getting video output.
Yeah, you can see the car completely disappear there for a few seconds going down into the corner. And
oh, there goes the crazy shadows again on my main PC. What on earth?
Well, we've had some interesting stuff happen tonight.
Well, yeah, it looks like the cars are floating and then the shadows catch back up to them. It only seems to happen under caution. I haven't noticed it when they're racing. Well, that was... you know what? That was actually pretty lucky for Rick Castle. Yeah, for the guys that took 4 tires. Really bad for Nick Walters taking his 2 tires because now he's got to come in and take all 4 anyway, erasing any advantage he might have gained from it. Sean Sheaves, maybe it was aliens. In fact, Pops is still parked on the track, somehow hasn't gotten towed. I think because it detects him as moving.
Yeah, the game is probably still registering that he's driving the track, which, obviously he's not, but hopefully he will, like you said, reset to the pits, or car will just disconnect here before too long.
Again, that's not a paused picture. He's stuck. I think maybe someone should go push him. Oh, those shadows are freaking me out. I think what would happen is... Oh, would the green flag even wave? Oh, yeah. I think it might be time to make an executive decision to just boot him.
Yeah, I think that may need to happen. Because that car, you can hear if you go to the in-car, that's still running about 6,000 RPMs. Oh, and there he goes. He did finally disconnect.
Yeah, I was trying to whisper to Ryan there just to suggest kicking him.
Yeah, I was just sitting there watching it. I was a little bit behind on it, and I thought he was already gone. So, yeah, thanks.
I was going to suggest kicking him, but I guess it finally caught up and registered. Manually disconnected. Tough break there from the 99. Yeah, Ken Shea was going to suggesting the same thing. Boot the 99. Yeah, tough break there. Tough break. It seems to be the story of the night. Tough break for 41, tough break for 59, and the 99. Looks like you had trouble hanging on to it after your damage there.
Well, I don't know if it was damage or just me, so it could have went either way. I had damage from the get-go and slapped the wall there, I think, on like lap 2.
Yeah, it was actually it was lap 1, and we spent like 10 laps trying to figure out if you even had damage.
Well, it was pretty solid for the first 10 laps, and then it would kind of fall off. Couldn't keep up with him, and then I got loose randomly there in front of Ken, and nothing he could do to keep it off of me. Went around, and then I got loose again. I don't think it was the damage caused it. Just didn't enter the turn right, and away it went.
I don't feel too bad, Ryan. Same thing happened to me in the same part of the track. I think it's just a characteristic of that particular setup on cold tires or something.
Yeah. Then I did it again, with the damage in front of Pops and Nick, and decided to park it. It was iffy on 2, and I was like, I better park. So.
Well, you got the last 2 undamaged cars out there being your teammate and Rick Castle. Rick has been the class of the field all night. He's led 63 laps so far. And, man, Jeff, without some drafting help's got to dip into his bag of tricks as a speedway specialist here, as we're going to take this green with about 12 to go.
Jeff has managed to get a run down low coming out of turn 4 a couple times on Rick, but like you said, without any drafted help, that's going to be really tough. He's going to have to work hard to make a move.
If he's going to make it, he's going to have to make it early.
Yeah, and Milty talks about as the green flag waves, Jeff Hale being one of the more confident drivers on cold tires.
Rick didn't get nearly as good a start as he did last time.
No, he didn't, but I also kind of wonder if he was trying not to pull away and give these guys a big run down the backstretch. Oh, he's loose. Rick's loose and slides down to the bottom of the track, and that's going to give Jeff Hale the run. Rick can't block yet, but he can take his line. And he took his normal line through there, and Jeff Hale did not go all the way to the apron. He wants to try to work the outside.
Jeff's used the outside line through 1 and 2 a couple times tonight, but I'm not sure that's going to be the way to get around Rick. We'll see.
And he has used it, but he had help when he did it.
Wouldn't count that 91 out yet.
Well, he's got some nose damage, so I don't know what he can do. But, yeah, if anyone can win with a damaged car, it's that alien. Yeah, see, Nick Walters also with some damage in his car. Taking a sniff. Yeah, see, Ken Shea's car is hurt in the mid-corner there. He just can't quite stick with them.
Yeah, you can definitely tell those 3 cars at the back of the 5 here have all got a little bit of damage. Just dragging them back a little bit.
So Jeff Hale's got to make this work all by his lonesome. He is going to breathe down the neck of the 124, try and force an error. Meanwhile, Nick Walters slides under the 91, not a 191. Almost pushes him up to the wall, has to gather it back up, and that's going to let Ken Shea back by on the high side. Jason Dulfer looking to follow through. Jay swings high. Laps winding down here. Castle's run a smart race. Steady, consistent pace all night. Can he keep this calm and bring this one home?
Yeah, like you'd said, there's no lack of confidence there, those 2 drivers at the front. 2 pretty experienced guys who both would expect themselves to go to victory lane, I would think, in this race.
Yeah, teammates with both of them. Hale here in this league and Castle over at Hobo. So
he just
they both know how to get it done.
Yeah, he just keeps getting better every year, too. Yeah, as Rick gets more track time under him, more experience here in the various leagues, he just keeps getting better, and it's showing tonight. Jeff Hale thought he might have had a run there, thinks better of it. Rick's running this kind of middle line through 3 and 4, which I'm surprised doesn't cost him more momentum. Oh, a little bump, and this Castle saved it. What a save.
Wow. Nick Walters finally makes that pass on 91, too.
Oh, sorry there, Chris. Yeah, Nick Walters finally gets around there for 3rd, but probably because everybody was dropping their jaw at that save from back there. Let's get that dialed back up.
Just wow.
Well, and I think we all kind of expected Jeff was going to have to, pull something out of his bag of tricks to get around Rick. And
I don't think that's what he had in mind, but
no, I don't think that's what he was intending. But
I think it was
it definitely worked.
Deal there.
I mean, Rick is gone twice, 3 times, saves it.
We got 2 to go here. Let's see if Rick can get back up there and try and make a move on Jeff.
That's pulled Nick Walters back into the picture, too. A little draft help from Nick might actually be the difference here.
Yeah, I'd like to give Nick a shout out. Ever since Derby brought him on for Highline Racing, he's really improved as a driver. He's become a much more patient driver with some really good car control.
White flag in the air. One more time by. Rick Castle got left in the car after that slide. Oh, I thought Hale was pushing up to the wall. Wow. And Jeff Hale brings it home. Rick Castle second. Nick Walters, the gritty performance, brings it home third in the Twizzlers Monte Carlo. And that's a hell of a race up front for the win. But again, gotta give tons of credit to Nick Walters there for toughing that one out. Had several setbacks. Brings it home third. Jason Dulfer, top 4 finish there. Ken Shea, just that damage was too much to overcome. It was heavy nose damage, and pushes him back to 5th. Pops Markson with his whatever computer issue there ends up 6th. Ryan Johnson 7th. Chris Beckman 8th. With TG Reese and Sam Young rounding out your top 10. And Jeff Hale's going to burn that one down.
I was just looking at that replay again. I have no idea how Rick managed to save that. That was unbelievable.
That was some Kyle Busch level saving right there. Like, I've seen Kyle Busch, like, say what you want about Kyle Busch, and the other times I can't stand him. But I've seen him save cars that were wrecked. They just hadn't hit anything yet. Like, no way. No human could save those cars, and he brings them back somehow. All right, let's get the replay saved here. I'm sure Ryan's hard at work on the points.
Yeah, I'm working on it here.
We are not in Kansas anymore, Toto. All right. So again, your podium finishers there. Jeff Hale, your winner. Second place, Rick Castle with the save of the season. And Nick Walters, man, he needed just another couple laps of those guys going at it like that, and he might have had something to say about this. I don't know where the damage was, if he had any on the car. He probably did. But it wasn't affecting him on that last run there.
And it may just have been a situation where those top 2 guys were really heating their tires up at that point, which may have allowed him to reel them back in a little bit.
And we'll get the podium finishers up in here. They're probably all slapping Rick on the back. Oh, Rick is... Oh, he's still there. Okay. Thought for a second he disconnected. Chris Beckman gone down to gather up our finishers there. So we had 5 yellow flags, a bit more than we expected there. Just a couple of cautions, breed cautions kind of situations, and then a weird scenario there with the 99 car, Pops Markson. We hope that was just a computer issue and that Pops is okay. Because that was bizarre. I don't think I've seen something like that before.
Points should be up. Took a little while.
All right. Yeah, it's been running slow ever since they upgraded it.
Downgrade.
Actually, well, when it came back from not working at all, it became super slow. So, I mean, I guess it was technically an upgrade. From not working to working slow. And there is the updated points. And that moves Rick Castle up to second place as he keeps creeping up ahead. 17 back. This is not over yet. This is what, week 9, 3 races to go.
I was
4
surprised
races.
Hatch didn't score any points, but I don't think he turned a lap. He was there tonight, but he didn't
Yeah.
turn a lap.
He didn't make the grid. We have Nick. There's Nick. All right. So thanks, Chris, for gathering up our podium finishers there. Nick Walters, man, that was the gritty performance of the night there. I think you hit just about everything but the lottery there for a while, and still managed to bring home third. Tell us about your roller coaster night, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it was such a terrible night. Honestly, surprised I came in third. There at the end, I about killed myself passing Ken. I'm sure you guys saw that.
Oh yeah, that was a battle.
But yeah, it was fun though. Got some contact there early on in pit road. Then got into pops there, and I think Ryan got a little loose in front of me. So yeah, it was like you said, a roller coaster every night. But no, I was lucky to come in third.
Well, those are the nights that great seasons are made of. You just keep digging. You keep taking what the race will give you, and great job there working that back to a third place finish. And yeah, you tell those cars were all damaged in different ways. You and Ken and Jay, and just all trying to work it around there. So I was surprised to see you still had a burst of speed to possibly get back up there in the mix with these guys. What do you think? You need maybe another lap or two, or is that just a product of them racing hard that you got caught up?
I think I may have caught up to him, but in the end, I don't think I had much for him.
Awesome. Well, great run regardless, and thanks for joining us up here. Again, your third place finisher, Nick Walters, and then second place, dominant car all night, and oh my god, the save of the year, Rick Castle. How the hell did you save that thing?
I was just determined not to lose the spot after, that spot at least, after running strong all night. And Crown Royal Chevy was definitely dialed in tonight. I was feeling really good out there.
Yeah, that thing was on rails. You had the speed, you had the strategy, you executed all the pit stops. Great points tonight. That moves you up into second in the points, 17 back.
Right.
As Milty said, this thing ain't over yet. We still got 3 races left. You're still in this hunt, man.
Yeah, great racing with everybody out there tonight. Ryan and Jeff there, and if he didn't just tap me a little bit there to loosen me up, he probably wouldn't have got around me. But
it would have been tough without draft help. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just give a shout out to Milt there that we're missing here.
Yeah, he's listening. He's in chat right now, and he says, "Good job, Rick."
All right.
I know he was hooting and hollering at that
Thank
save.
You
You gave him something to watch there, man. It's a great run, Rick. And great points tonight, great race overall. And thanks for joining us. And of course, your race winner, Jeff Hale, methodically working your way into that position all night, executing. Tell us about your night and that final run there.
Yeah, first, another shout out to Milt. Just want to let you know I'm thinking about your brother. And, exciting night. I knew Rick was going to be tough to beat. Tried to get him looking in the mirror a lot that last 10-lap run, and I was able to, able to get to the bumper. I know we touched one time, but when that happened, I backed off. I let him gather it up. Didn't want to make it worse than what it was, but yep, good hard battle all night. Good pit stops, except for one, I think, but I was able to fight back. Like I said, it was a fun race.
Great job out there. Yeah, again, the speedway specialist came through there in the end.
Yeah, just don't hate me, Rick.
Nah, I don't hate you there. You probably owed me one. But I mean, it wasn't. It was just enough to upset my car. And like these guys said, I haven't seen it yet myself, but I know I was definitely doing a lot of work to keep it going straight.
Oh, when you see it, you're gonna wonder how you saved it, because you were gone like 3 times. The last time when you came back up the track, I thought you were gonna head on into the wall. It's like I thought that thing was wrecked for sure. So yeah, that was the good hands. That was the good hands move of the year, I think, right there.
And all the time trying not to lose.
Hell yeah!
And all the time trying not to lose a distance on Jeff. At least I got back to him, but just couldn't pass after that.
Great stuff. Again, thanks again for joining us. Our podium finishers here, Nick Walters, Rick Castle, and your race winner, Jeff Hale. Thanks once again, Chris Beckman doing the in-race reporting, popping up into the booth when he retired there. pinch hitting for Milty. Appreciate all you're doing there for us, Chris. Thanks, Ryan Johnson, also pulling the double duty, adminning and driving, and popping in the booth at the end there. And, of course, Sam Young, our owner-promoter. All you do to keep this thing running 20 years on. Thanks, everybody, for joining us out there in YouTube land, especially you, Milty. We love you. We miss you. We're here for you whenever you want to come back in, but that's obviously absolutely no rush. But thanks for joining us out there and chatting. Hope you had fun, as well as everybody else joining us out there in YouTube land. Until next week, where we're coming from, I don't even remember anymore. I'm not even going to Homestead. Okay, flat or the good one?
I think it's Homestead Flat, but I got to double check.
I thought flat was the good one.
Flat is the garbage one. That's why they don't run that anymore. Well, some variant of Homestead will be coming to you from there next week. Until then, for FSB Racing Live, I've been your host, Sean Reap, saying good night, everybody.